Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, April 15th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. Whoops. So stock number one here, we're going to take a look at BULL. Webull, very impressive movement today. Huge volume, big price action. So let's get some key levels here mapped out heading into Tuesday. So the first level that I think a lot of people will be watching, so I'm not trying to imply this is a great discovery or anything on my part, but I think a lot of people are going to be curious right up there around that $76 mark. You can see it's not exact, but whoops. There we go. Right up around here. Several times the price got around that area, and it wasn't necessarily a problem pushing through it because the price did push through it a couple times, but just in terms of building momentum and maintaining the momentum, just couldn't quite do it. On the good news front, though, it's not like the price has to travel a great distance before it would be back at that level and potentially do battle with it. So that while that still doesn't guarantee anything for Tuesday, it does seem to be more than reasonable to say that there could be another battle with $76 coming on Tuesday. Again, just for the reason of the price doesn't have to travel that far at all in order to get back up to that area. In terms of levels of support, the ideal level, I'm going to say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest going forward? And that would be if the price could stay up here above $44.50. Now, if the price would have fallen on there and break below it, not the end of the world, because from the bigger picture standpoint, you have the purple line down here, which is the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword definitely being moving, because I understand the price is way up here. This line's way down here. But as time goes by, that line's going to move itself higher and higher. So from the overarching viewpoint, as long as the price is above that purple line, then that does imply the price is building higher bases. And again, from the bigger picture standpoint, that's what it's all about. You just want to see those higher bases being put into play. But all in all, great movement today, great volatility. So we'll see what Wednesday has to offer. Next one here, ticker symbol DMN, and talked about this one on Friday. And overall, if you were watching that video, then hopefully remember me talking about how, no guarantees, but the sideways action here did imply maybe the selling pressure was over. And as of right now, yeah, got a nice bounce today. So the selling pressure seems to be over. But now the question just becomes, is this the start of something much bigger? Or is this just some sort of dead cat bounce, type movement? And I have no idea. But by using charts, we can make answering that question very straightforward. And in my mind, a very, very important level now to watch moving forward. Right here at 0034. And why is that level so important? I'm not saying this will occur, but just for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down here and then break down below it, what is that doing to the price? Well, that's putting the price quite literally right back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make a nice bounce and then all of a sudden go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. But to be fair, nothing can go straight up. So if the price were to come down here and then behave like that and then start to curl back upwards, now all of a sudden, what do you have? Well, you have a set of lows right here. You have this low down here. And if you envision each one of those as stair steps, at least now you have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. And that's what a truly strong move is going to do. Again, not just go straight up, but at least show progress. And again, in this situation, quote unquote, show progress I am defining as 0034. In terms of levels of resistance, main battleground to watch now if the price is going to continue on up is all about that purple line right there, 50-period moving average, currently valued at 0055. But no doubt about it, nice bounce today. Does this bounce have genuine strength? Let's see if the price can continue to show those signs of progress. Next one here, taking a look at NIO. Very nice day today as it got the break up through this trend line here that I talked about last week. Got the push upwards and is now looking very, very nice going into Tuesday. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these annotations as they serve their purpose for now. And now we have a new little pattern here. So the top of the pattern, I'm not going to use a trend line for. Let's just use that pink line there, the 200-period moving average, as a top part of the pattern. So in that regard, we have that area coming down like that. And then on the flip side of things, we have this nice little upward slope right there. So let me change that to green for support. And then to maybe make the pattern easier to see, let's just keep it all one color now. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the nice upward move right here. If I extend this out a little bit more, and then if we put the golf hole down here, for you golfers try to make it a little bit more visual, we have ourselves a nice bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go upwards. But is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price... Uh-oh, I lost my cursor. There we go. If the price chops around here and then makes a move upwards, is it plausible that a break right there could create additional buying pressure? Yeah, that is certainly a plausible outcome. Once again, not guaranteed, but a reasonable thought to have. So if you're somebody that likes this price range, you like bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one here, STSS. I'm going to go through this one very quick because you literally just heard me talk about it, and I want to respect your time as much as possible. So there's our area of resistance. Here we have an area of support. There we have the big move up. And down here we have the golf hole. So another bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is that this one is on a penny stock. So maybe you prefer penny stocks, but you do like bull pennant patterns. Here you go. So like I said, in the spirit of respecting your time, keep an eye on this one if you do like penny stocks and bull pennants. Next one here, NVDA. And this one, it's hanging in there. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level as it served its purpose for now. But what I'm very curious about is this overarching trend line right here. I've had that in there for the past couple days. And you can see earlier today, the price was really doing its best. And in some ways, it is still hanging right around that area. So if you envision this as a magnet that's kind of just pulling at the price, it's almost as though, yeah, the price is a little bit below this, but as the trend line's gone up, the price has still continued to go up with it. So I'm going to still consider this respecting the trend line. I realize again that the price is down below it, but because it does seem like the trend line itself is pulling up the price, I'm still going to consider this being in play. But if you disagree and say, no, I think it's broken, fair enough. I would then say that the next level to keep an eye on from the overarching standpoint, from a support view, is going to be that purple line right there, 50 period moving average. So like I said, if you don't even want to bother with the trend line, just watch a purple line. And as I said earlier, that 50 period moving average keyword being moving, that line's going to keep on moving itself for you and basically be a trend line that draws itself for you. So overarching wise, everything is still perfectly fine. I make that comment because I do realize that if you're a day trader, scalper, and you bought right at the open here and your plan was to buy and sell within 5 minutes, well then yeah, that move right there probably wrecked your day. But overall, the chart is hanging in there and doing just fine. In terms of levels of resistance, nothing has changed there. Still have the overarching level up here at this red line at the 115.20 mark, so keep an eye on that. But like I said, all things considered and looking at things from the big picture standpoint, I would say the overall trend is still plenty bullish. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering later on in the week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down below in the description area you can use, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, SOXL, and this is overall a good mover today, but ultimately kind of I stumble over my words because it's just one of those, it's hard to talk about because it's all about perspective. Day traders, flippers, scalpers that bought at the opening of the day, yeah, for them, not looking the greatest. It did pull back, bounce up a little bit, but it's now starting to roll back over. But from the bigger picture standpoint, everything is doing just fine. Not only is the price still very much so up above the overall trend line right there, price is still up above that green area right there that I talked about as support. Price is still up above the purple line right there. So still doing good in that regard. But again, I do realize that depending on the strategy, if you're some sort of day trader and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well then yeah, that movement right there was not very pleasant at all. So it's all about perspective, but assuming you do care about the bigger picture of things, all of the support levels are doing just fine. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, now that we have a little bit more data, I would have no problem if you just still wanted to call this area of resistance right here at 11. But moving that up here a little bit, it seems as though now that we have a little bit more price action, $11.20 is the key level. You can see that's where it rejected the price there and right there this morning. So keep an eye on that. But like I said, all things considered, the price is still in an overall uptrend, building higher bases, and that's what matters most. Next one here, PLTR. I suppose I should have put this at the different location in the watch list because you've seen this before. So I'm going to go through it a little bit quicker. But we have a bit of a pullback here. This is illustrated by that. So there has been a pullback, but part of a pullback, and assuming you care about the bigger picture, is yeah, you're going to acknowledge, yeah, the price did pull back from its highs, but I care about the bigger picture. Therefore, well, what was happening before this pullback? And those people would say, well, the price was down here, and then it made a move all the way up there. So now, all actuality, from that angle of things, yeah, I've already talked about the bull pennant pattern. I would say this is a bull flag pattern, but for all, before we get stuck down in the semantics of it all, at the end of the day, all that's being conveyed is there was a surge in the upwards direction, and now there's some consolidation. That's all a bull pennant, bull flag is essentially representing. So yes, heading into Tuesday, people that bought right there as day traders and scalpers, not looking so good for them. But assuming you care about the broader point of things, you got yourself a nice bull flag pattern. Next one here, TSLA, Tesla. And this will mean more to those of you that watched the video from Friday. But if you did, hopefully you're not shocked or anything like that, because literally the levels that I talked about both played out today. So the first level I talked about was that pink line there as resistance, and you can see this morning did behave as resistance. The other level I talked about was the purple line there. Talked about that being an area of support, and you can see earlier on, or actually quite a bit, I mean, right there acted as support, right there acted as support. So the purple line is continuing to act as support. So in that all actuality, nothing has changed headed into Tuesday. Key area of resistance in the near term, right there at the pink line, key area of support, the purple line right there. Now, if the price is able to push through the pink line to the upside, the more so overarching level of resistance remains up there, that red line there at the 273 mark. And on the flip side here, if the bears are able to press it down through there, then the next overarching level of support would be that uptrending trend line right there. But as of right now, still a big question of who's ultimately going to win this battle. Do the bulls win with the break to the upside? Do the bears win with the break to the downside? We'll see what happens. Next one here, XAGE, and a very, very interesting part here, and well, I guess a couple interesting parts, is this started off very strong in the day, big gap up, price was here, and then things got nasty, pullback, and it's one of those things where it's looking like it's game over. But as I speak right now, last 30 minutes, I mean, check out this action right now. Nice green candle, and this is why I like to do these when the market's still open. Price is obviously all over the place, which brings always the exciting question, is this the start of something bigger? Now think about that question. If nothing worthwhile is happening, it makes no sense to ask the question, is this the start of something bigger? Because, well, I mean, nothing's happening. But clearly right now, something is definitely happening as the price has boomed upwards this last 30 minutes. Now, to be fair, maybe this is nothing. Maybe the price just rolls right back over. That's why risk management matters, because that is a possibility. But also, to be fair, and that's a two-sided coin, I mean, maybe this is the start of something bigger, and this thing's getting ready to rock and roll. So yes, XAGE, if you like penny stocks, and if you like these situations where you get to ask the question, is this the start of something bigger? Keep an eye on it. Next one here, AAPL Apple, and maybe you noticed the first level I'm going to talk about right away as a level of resistance, but check out our good friend that I talked about numerous times now, the pink line there, 200 period moving average. Price did get up above it this morning, but when the price fell back below it, it went right back to acting as resistance several times, with the last 30 minutes having a pretty nasty rejection off it right there. But that's more of a micro standpoint, because when you take a step back and look at things from the bigger picture point of view, overall the price and the trend is still in the upwards direction. Easiest way to see the uptrend, in my opinion at least, is just to use our good friend, that 50 period moving average. You can see back here, acted as support, acted as support. So as time goes by, and as I now know you know, because you've heard me talk about it several times, just let that moving average move itself higher and higher and essentially become the trend line that's going to draw itself for you. So in the overarching standpoint, continue to watch that purple line there, key area of support. And then in the near term, in terms of levels of resistance, if the price does try to curl its way back upwards, first key level going to be the pink line right there. And then after that, the next key level, that must be an old line right there. We'll just change that to red. So next key level would then just be the highs up there around the 213.30 mark. But again, no point in really putting too much emphasis on 213.30 until the price can first prove itself in the near term by being able to break back above that pink line right there. So like I said, overall, Apple is doing just fine. Sure, it pulled back a little bit, but still plenty of opportunity to build the trend. So that wraps up the top 10 stocks. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Like I said, it'll be later this week, Thursday, April 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. And then as far as the top 10 videos are concerned, as always, if you enjoy, please hit that like button. And if you're looking for a very free and easy way to support the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, as it really does help out. So thanks for watching. Take care, and make sure you get signed up for the free class.